Okay, everybody, this is a long time coming because I believe that the radiator that is in this demo car is 5 or 6 years old now.
Oh, bro, I thought it was original.
Original it came in the car? No, so maybe 6 or 7 years, which doesn't seem that crazy, but the abuse that this radiator has had is astronomical. It has been basically sandblasted from driving on dirt roads at 100 miles an hour, highway poles, rocks, chase cars going off, dirts. It's basically plugged. All the fins are bent. We've straightened it out. We've cleaned it out, but it's time. So I reached out to PWR, who of course does all of the cooling across the whole fleet of the cars. The C6 race car, radiator and intercooler. The C8 radiator, which is in the front. We'll take a look at that. It's so sick. And oil cooler. And then this thing, which has a radiator and an oil cooler from them as well. So I reached out. Normally this would be the part where I said, and then we did all this engineering, and then we had CAD Chris, and we did this, and we did that, and it was like weeks and months of engineering time. But actually, it's a direct fit radiator for a C6 Corvette. So this is going to be a short, sweet, and pretty easy video. And I'm just going to take you guys along because this car deserves it. Let's get to work. This is the best part of Boxo, by the way. The toolbox is way over there, but I just grabbed the whole tool organizer, just flop it on the desk, makes life easy. And off. Probably could clean the air filter out too, huh? Let's drain this thing. There we go.
So first things first, gotta drain the coolant out. This thing's super easy because you just turn a valve. Always gotta pop the top, dude. There she goes.
It's going? That kind of thing's going slow, dude.
Yeah, the valve is cool, but it ain't fast.
Yeah.
I would just normally dump it out the lower hose, but
Pet cock.
yeah, slow petcock, but you know.
This engine is a 416 Texas Speed LS3. Decent compression, like 12 to 1 or something like that on pump gas, so it's kind of a lot for pump gas for sure. Makes like 500 wheel, 520 wheel, something like that. And I'm not nice to it. That's the thing. With this car and how much power this thing makes, I basically keep my foot flat to the floor and let it sit on the limiter. If this thing didn't have an oil cooler, like that was the crazy thing. Before, I never had an oil cooler on this thing, and the temps would just skyrocket. Oil temps go up, water temps are going up, doesn't matter. Now it's got a pretty nice oil cooler. It's a PWR oil cooler with a fan, and then with this PWR radiator. It's a game changer. But like I said, this thing, we'll see. I'll show you guys. We're gonna set it on the ground. You're gonna see how much crap is in the fins. So that one is gonna be a game changer again. We'll be back to where we were.
I'd say let's pull the shroud, dude. I always do that, and it makes this real easy. So now we can pull this out. Now that we bought ourselves a little bit of room.
There we go. Pull the lower hose. Dude, look at this thing, straight plugged. Oh dang! And this is even a C&R. This is even older. Dang, that might be one too. So C&R was purchased from PWR. So that means that this I don't know how many years ago. I want to say maybe 5 or 6 years ago, something like that. So that means this radiator is even older than that. Back in the C&R days. Yeah. Those things heavy still.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
It's gonna drain. Hold it.
Oh.
Yep. Ah, what a mess. There we go. All right. So this here is roasted because the demo car was parked behind the big car hauler, the race trailer, which has a polished stainless rear door, and it was sitting out here, and the sun goes this way, and the trailer was this way, and it bounced off the trailer door, magnifying glass, and was starting to roach the front of this. We came out, and it was nearly on fire. We're lucky that we went out when we did, because if we didn't, the whole thing could be, I mean, it probably wouldn't have caught the whole car on fire. It probably would have just melted and smoked the foam, but still, that's freaking scary. Dirty. Holy moly!
You could do that for 30 minutes straight,
Yeah.
and it would still keep coming out.
That's why this thing doesn't cool as good as it used to. It's just old and full of shit, and no matter what we've done, it won't get clean. We've tried, so it means it's time. It's time for a new one. Look at that. It's literally the exact shape of the radiator.
It even has the logo.
Yeah. Dude, that's a lot from one hit. Yeah. It's time. It's time. Okay, it's freaking go time. Oh yeah. Is there something? Oh, yeah, this one's actually PWR, so this is substantially newer than my old girl over there. Damn, son. Lower bushies. Make sure that petcock's tight. The petcock, gotta make sure it's tight. We talk all this shit about that old girl. It's gonna wind up in one of these guys' cars.
Oh, definitely. And it's still a better spare than what we have, because the other spare is a stock one that's literally bent in the shape of a U. And
okay.
Crazy.
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
All right, we'll hang on to that.
That's a good spare.
We'll hang on to it. You know what else too? This radiator doesn't have like the Z06 transmission cooler in it. So that's better for this, because it just had a little bit more capacity and a little bit more direct flow, because that has to pass through the cooler over there.
For sure, and it makes it way easier to install and remove.
Yeah.
Without breaking shit or any of that.
Here we go. I got some wires and stuff over here I need to get around a piece, yeah. And then I just gotta get this. I'm in.
Same. Yep, I'm in.
Bada boom.
There, perfect. Now.
Okay, your side.
Finishing up the lower hose so I don't forget it and blow water all over the place later.
The Corvette is cool because it's like self-bleeding realistically. With these hoses that go to the expansion tank and the heater core and all of that, you just keep adding water and eventually it kind of bleeds itself out. You add some water, it takes a second, add some water, it takes a second. It's not bad.
Zip tie, the shroud back on, and the upper mount, and I think that's finito.
Oh yeah. Okay. So happy. That old radiator is probably like one of the original things when I first built this car. I got a new radiator for it. So this engine is built for nitrous. I'm just waiting to put my new Link ECU and Link LS engine harness. Then we'll do nitrous. Because it still has a stock ECU and stock wiring harness in this thing. It's a lot of work to get. Not a lot of work, but it's not easy to run nitrous and then not run nitrous, and I want to turn it on. Now I don't want to run it at that event. So it's just easier to wait until we put the Link in this thing, which is going to be very, very soon. So that I am excited about, because this car's wiring harness and body control module and all that is crispy and nasty. So I'm very excited. That'll be another thing I'll show you guys. I'll take you along for the ride for putting that Link, because it's sick. It's a Link LS swap harness. It drops on an LS, plugs into an ECU, give it power grand, fuel pump, fans, ready to go. It could not be easier.
Plug and play.
Plug and play. Plucking. Just like this radiator. Pluck and play. Uh-oh. That was sideways, brother. That was a Strippenstein.
No.
Like 900 horsepower. Pretty reliably, too. Plastic shroud back on that thing.
Max a million.
Need some more zippies. I think that's it, right?
I think that's it. Now we put the intake on, fill it with coolant,
Yeah,
and
intake. All right, let me
that's
get
it. Whoa, dude.
Little coolant, some Lucas Oil super coolant, water, hood, fire it up.
Just a splash.
Yeah, I'm not a believer in distilled water. I got aluminum engines, you know? No, I don't think it matters. It's obviously better, but I don't care.
I think my one argument for that is when we looked at our electric water pump last year on the other car, I'm like, whoa,
Really?
that's crazy. Yeah, we use
Cancels out.
Morgan Hill tap water
Yeah.
that comes out of the sink underneath
Yeah.
our bathroom.
Yeah, it's good.
All right, got the distilled water.
I seriously started to notice, it's like every two laps and the thing was getting warm, you know? No matter what, it just wouldn't cool. And it's because it's packed full of freaking tires. Okay, this is it. Last step, fire it up, bleed the cooling system, enjoy the sound of Texas Speed Shop. Radiator on, dude. Street car. Whoa! The sound of my people. All right, that's it. That's a wrap. We're gonna sit here, let this thing bleed out, and then we'll be ready for the track. Gonna be on track next week, Apple Valley. So pumped. Thank you very much, PWR. Yeah, dude, this thing, it used to warm up like instantly. It's taking a while now. Special thanks to PWR. You couldn't have made it any easier. Obviously, direct fit radiator is meant to be easy. I think we're clocked in at about 50 minutes, something like that. Time to bleed it, get it off the lift, and get it to the track. Hell yeah.